While I was recovering in the hospital after surgery, she asked my mother for my streaming password, then threw a little gathering at my flat. I only realized it when a nurse showed me her Instagram story. 48 hours later, her comfort was gone. I'm typing this while still technically bedridden. Well, I'm on my sofa now, but the story begins in a hospital ward. 2 days earlier, I had undergone a full reconstructive surgery on my left knee. It was an old sports injury from my college football days that had worsened over time, turning from a mild discomfort to an unbearable grind. The operation had been planned months in advance, and I knew the road to recovery would be slow and painful. My girlfriend of a year and a half, Maya, was supposed to be there for me. Turns out, she was simply waiting for me to be out of the way so she could throw a party. The surgery itself went well. I woke up from anesthesia feeling heavy and detached, like my thoughts were floating above my body. My mom sat beside me, worry etched into her face. Maya had come before the procedure, gave me a quick peck on the cheek, and said she'd return later that evening, blaming a work deadline she couldn't ignore. I was too drugged to argue. I slept through most of that day, fading in and out thanks to painkillers. My mom kept my phone and responded to the occasional messages from friends checking in on me. Around 8 that night, my phone buzzed on the small table next to the bed. My mom glanced at it. "Oh, it's Maya calling," she said quietly, answering. I could only hear my mother's side of the call, her voice gentle but slightly confused. "Maya, sweetheart, hello?" "Yes, he's fine, just sleeping a lot." "Oh, you're at the apartment? That's nice, making sure everything's okay." "What's that?" "You need the Netflix code?" Oh, a notification just appeared on Daniel's phone. I remember trying to make sense of that through the haze. A verification code? For Netflix? Why? My mother read out the 6 numbers to her. "All right, dear. Have a calm evening. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care, bye-bye." She hung up and said, smiling, that was thoughtful of her. She's just relaxing there, watching something. Even in my weakened state, something felt strange, but I was in too much discomfort to focus. I dozed off again, assuming she was just trying to pass time. The following morning, the medication fog began to lift, though the pain was intense. A new nurse came in to change my dressings. I recognized her immediately. It was Olivia, the younger sister of my best friend, Adam. I'd known her since she was a kid. "Hey, Daniel," she said, giving me a warm and professional smile. "Heard you finally got that old knee fixed. How do you feel?" We chatted briefly about her job, her brother, and my surgery. As she was about to leave, she paused at the door, looking uncomfortable. "Daniel, I really shouldn't get involved," she began, lowering her voice. "And this is super awkward, but I think you need to see something." She walked over and showed me her phone. Instagram was open. It was Maya's story from last night. The first clip showed my living room, far from quiet. There were about a dozen people jammed onto my sofa and on the rug. Pizza boxes were stacked on my coffee table and empty beer bottles lined the counter, my beers. They were all cheering at my TV. The next clip was a selfie of Maya, smiling broadly with a drink in her hand. She had tagged her friends and written, holding it down while the old man's laid up. "Finale night." With a little wink emoji. Old man. I'm 34. The last video panned across the whole party. Music was blasting. Someone was dancing in the middle of the room. In the background, someone crashed into my bookshelf, knocking over a framed picture of my late father. I stared at the videos, my blood chilled. The post-op pain in my knee was nothing compared to the sick feeling in my stomach. I was lying helpless in a hospital bed, and she had turned my home into her playground. She hadn't asked for my code to have a quiet night. She wanted all my logins so she could entertain her friends. The level of disrespect was staggering. "Olivia," I croaked, "thank you for showing me." She nodded, looking truly sorry. "I'm really sorry, Daniel." Once she left, I lay there in that sterile room as all the grogginess evaporated, replaced by icy clarity. The party was over. Maya just didn't know it yet. I grabbed my phone. The first thing I did was log out every device from my Netflix account. I did the same for all other apps. Then I changed my home Wi-Fi password. And finally, I made a call. Not to Maya. Not to my mom. I called Adam, my best friend since we were 5. "Hey man," I said, voice steady, "I need a big favor." I told him everything. He was silent for a moment, then let out a long, angry breath. "I never trusted her, Daniel. Tell me what you need." I explained. "Not tonight. Tomorrow, once she leaves for work. I need you to talk to the superintendent and get photos. I'll be discharged in 48 hours. That gave me time to prepare. Maya's key to my apartment was going to become useless. He had gathered all the proof I needed. During this time, my communication with Maya was careful and minimal. She sent a few texts here and there. "Good morning, love. Hope you're feeling a bit stronger today." And later, "Thinking of you. The apartment feels so empty without you. Miss you." The fake concern made me sick. I answered with short, unemotional responses. "Thanks. Fine. Getting better." I was intentionally distant, giving her nothing, but not cold enough to raise suspicion. She was heading straight into a trap, and I wanted her comfortable, completely unaware, until the moment everything snapped shut. The bigger surprise came when I checked my bank account online. I expected my money situation to be normal. I was wrong. On the night of her gathering, there was a charge of over $300 from a local pizza place. She had used the debit card connected to my account, the one I'd let her use for household necessities, to fund her little party. This wasn't just disrespect anymore. It was stealing. She had used my own money to party in my apartment while I was recovering from knee surgery. That was the last straw. Any trace of doubt, any notion of talking it out, it vanished completely. The day I was discharged arrived. My mom and Adam came to pick me up. Mom still had no idea what Maya had done. She still thought Maya was a sweet girl, maybe a bit scatterbrained. I couldn't bring myself to tell her yet. "Are we going to call Maya to tell her we're on our way home?" Mom asked as Adam carefully helped me into the car. "No, Mom," I said. "I want to surprise her." Instead of heading straight to my place, I had Adam stop at a locksmith. On my crutches, I went inside and purchased a brand new high-security deadbolt. Then we drove to my apartment. Adam helped me up, and while Mom waited in the sitting room, he and I got to work. It took him about 20 minutes to remove the old lock and install the new one. The old keys were now worthless. We settled in, and I waited. Around 6:30 that evening, I heard a key scrape against the new lock. Again. Then a frustrated exhale, followed by the sound of dialing. My phone lit up with her name. I let it ring. A few seconds later, she texted, "Daniel, my key isn't working. I'm locked out. Did something happen to the door?" I waited a full minute before replying. "I'm home. The door is fine. I'll let you in." I got up slowly on my crutches and moved toward the door. Adam stood several feet behind me. I opened the door. Maya was standing there with a few shopping bags and an annoyed look on her face. Finally, she began, "What's wrong with the lock?" Her words died as she saw the look on my face. She had never seen me like that. "Your key doesn't work, Maya," I said, voice low and calm, "because you don't live here anymore." She stared in confusion. "What are you talking about? Stop being dramatic." She tried to push past, but I didn't move. Adam shifted slightly forward. "I'm not being dramatic," I said. "I know about the party." Her face went pale. "What party?" "I just had a couple friends over for the finale. It wasn't a big thing." "A couple friends?" I repeated. I pulled out my phone and showed her a screenshot of her own story. The crowd, the drinks, her caption. Her mouth fell open. "And this," I said, swiping to the next image. One of Adam's photos of the stained chair. "And this." The cracked photo frame. "And this." The sink full of dishes. Her eyes darted in every direction, looking for something to say, some excuse. "Okay, it got a little messy, so what? I was going to clean it. And I suppose you planned on paying me back for this too?" I showed her the final piece of proof. That $300 charge on my bank account for her party food was the final nail in the coffin. She had nothing to defend herself with. No excuses, no manipulation would work this time. She was cornered, fully and completely. "Adam was kind enough to pack a few of your necessities," I said, nodding towards some neatly taped boxes stacked by the door. "The basics are there. As for everything else, you can coordinate with Adam next week to pick it up. You will not be coming back into my apartment again." "You can't do this," she finally stammered, tears forming. "I live here. Where am I supposed to go?" "You should have thought about that before you treated my home like a nightclub and my trust like it meant nothing," I replied. I looked past her, into the hallway. "You need to leave now." She stood frozen, shocked, the shopping bag sliding out of her hands. She expected to return to her cozy setup, believing the old man might grumble for a day and get over it. She never imagined I'd be standing there with proof, a fresh lock on the door, and her life reduced to labeled boxes. It's been 2 months since I returned from the hospital to a wrecked apartment and a relationship beyond repair. Removing Maya from my life took strength. She tried every trick in the book, but every boundary I enforced felt like regaining a piece of myself I had let her slowly erode. That night I kicked her out. She didn't go far. She called her parents, and the call I received from her father went exactly how I expected. He was furious, ranting about how I could toss his daughter out while I was barely healed. He called me heartless and unstable. I didn't argue. I kept my voice even. "Sir, before you continue, I'd like you to check an email I'm sending right now. Please look at it, and then we'll talk." I sent him everything. Screenshots of Maya's party, pictures of the damage, the bank statement showing the $300 charge, even a short note from my neighbor about the noise complaint. I didn't hear from him again for 2 days. When he finally called back, he sounded like a different man. Quiet, embarrassed. He apologized. He said Maya had told him a very different version, that only a few friends stopped by to check on her. He and his wife were deeply disappointed once they saw the truth. Once everything was on paper, even her own parents couldn't defend her. Maya tried another tactic. Some of her friends posted vague things on social media about men who play the victim and how some guys can't handle a strong woman enjoying herself. That little smear campaign ended quickly thanks to my trump card, Becca. She and Adam's wife, who were part of the same extended group, started leaving calm but pointed comments like, "There's always more to the story," or "Having fun is fine, but throwing a party in your boyfriend's apartment while he's in the hospital is something else." The posts came down within a day. While Adam and I were cleaning the apartment that first weekend. And yes, the red stain never came out of my favorite chair. I ended up tossing it. We discovered something else. In the back of Maya's bedside drawer, there was a greeting card. It was a birthday card, not from me. It was from a guy I'd never heard of, and the note talked about their wild weekend a month prior and how he couldn't wait for the next one. Turns out the party wasn't a one-time lapse in judgment. It was part of a much bigger pattern of betrayal. She wasn't just using my apartment, she had been using my entire life as her base of operations while she lived however she wanted. A week later, I mailed her a formal, itemized invoice to her parents' address. It listed the cost of the party food, a new armchair, the locksmith fee, and the replacement for the broken frame. The total came to just over $900. I added a note explaining that if payment wasn't made in 30 days, I would sue in small claims court and happily present all the evidence. Her parents sent a check for the full amount 2 weeks later. Life is quiet now. Peaceful. My knee is recovering faster than expected, and my physical therapist credits it to a low-stress home environment. My mom knows everything now, and she felt awful for giving Maya the code that night. I told her it wasn't her fault, she was just being kind, and Maya took advantage of that kindness. Through Becca, I've heard bits about Maya. After spending a miserable month at her parents' place, she moved into a cramped apartment with 2 roommates. Her influencer dreams went nowhere. Turns out flaunting a glamorous lifestyle is tough when you're working retail to survive. The friends from her party scattered quickly once she wasn't the girl with the nice downtown apartment and the boyfriend paying for everything. Last weekend, I hosted a small gathering at my place. Not a party, just me, my mom, Adam, his wife, and Becca. I grilled steaks. We sat on my new armchair, laughing and talking. For the first time in months, my apartment felt like my space again. As they were leaving, my mom hugged me. "I'm so proud of you for standing up for yourself, Daniel," she said. And I realized she was right. For the first time in a long time, I had chosen my own peace and self-respect. I'd drawn a line and held it. Maya thought I was an easy target, an aging guy stuck in recovery. She was wrong. The only thing truly out of commission was the old me, the man who tolerated disrespect and swallowed his pain. He's gone. And I have no intention of letting him return.